In this module, we cover the fire detection and extinguishing systems, associated controls and indicators, components, and system testing. We start with the engines and discuss the detector loop systems, the fire indications, fire suppression, and the fire detection system tests. We then move on to cover the baggage compartment and smoke indications, compartment fire extinguishing, and the testing of compartment's fire protection systems. Lastly, lavatory smoke detection and fire protection is covered. The APU fire protection system is covered in the APU module and will not be addressed in this module. The fire protection system of the Dash 8 Q400 monitors and protects the engines, the forward and aft baggage compartments, the lavatory, and the auxiliary power unit, or APU. Fire protection is accomplished using various components throughout the airplane. Detector loops and smoke detectors provide the alerting necessary to combat a fire. The detection devices used for the fire protection are advanced pneumatic detectors for the APU, engines and wheel wells, as well as the smoke detectors for the baggage compartments. Both systems are connected to a common control amplifier. A lavatory smoke detector is also installed, but is not connected to the control amplifier. Fire and/or smoke indications are provided on the flight deck fire protection panel on the overhead console. Fire and/or smoke alerting is provided by the smoke and check fire detection light segments on the caution and warning panel. Illumination of the lights on the caution and warning panel are coupled with the master warning and master caution lights on the glare shield and their associated oral warnings. All the lights are essential for the crew fire alerting system. Engine fire detection is provided by 3 detection loops per engine nacelle area. The detector loops are advanced pneumatic detectors, or APDs. The APDs are minute sensor tubes filled with helium. An abnormal temperature increase in the area, monitored by the APD, results in the helium expanding. This increases the pressure in the tube and causes the activation of an alarm switch. The alarm signal is then processed by a control amplifier and relayed to the fire protection panel on the overhead console. The 3 zones in the engine nacelles are the primary engine zone, referred to as the PEZ, the leading edge zone, referred to as the LEZ, and the main wheel well zone. The PEZ and the LEZ are monitored as Loop A, and the main wheel well is monitored as Loop B. A fire or overheat condition detected in any of the 3 nacelle zones results in a visual and aural warning on the flight deck. The warning is announced by a fire bell and the illumination of the affected engine's red T-handle labeled Pull Fuel Hydraulic Off. The handle is located on the fire protection panel. Other related warning lights are covered in subsequent pages. The red check fire detection warning light segment on the overhead annunciator panel illuminates and flashes. The red master warning light on the glare shield illuminates and flashes. Click on the Pull Fuel Hydraulic Off T-handle to see the next indication. Both red engine fire press to reset lights on the glare shield's left and right sides are on and flashing. There will be a total of 5 lights illuminated. The one steady illuminated light is the Pull Fuel Hydraulic Off T-handle light. The other 4 lights are on and flashing. Click on the Pull Fuel Hydraulic Off T-handle to see the next indication. The fire warning tone is a bell sound that is activated along with the warning lights. Pressing either the engine fire press to reset light or the master warning light will silence the tone. Additionally, the check fire detection light will stop flashing and remain illuminated. The light inside the Pull Fuel Hydraulic Off T-handle remains illuminated until the fire is successfully extinguished. An engine fire requires the flight crew to respond with their company's required memory items and appropriate quick reference handbook or emergency procedures checklist. Generally, canceling the fire bell and pressing the master warning push button is the crew's first step. This resets the system to alert the crew of any further fire dangers. Additionally, the engine has to be shut down prior to an extinguisher discharge. On the overhead fire protection panel, there are 4 amber loop fault lights, a fault A and a fault B light for each engine. If an engine loop's advanced pneumatic detector, or APD, is punctured, loses pressure, or loses electrical power, a fault signal is processed by the control amplifier. The signal is sent to the appropriate loop, fault A or B light, causing it to illuminate. This causes the master warning light and check fire detection warning light to flash. The PEZ and LEZ loops are wired in series with the control amplifier. Because of the series connection, several different scenarios are possible. First, should the PEZ loop fail, or the LEZ loop fail, a fault A light illuminates for the appropriate engine. Click on the fault A light to see the next indication. Second, if either the PEZ loop or the LEZ loop detects a fire warning is generated and displayed. In the third case, if the PEZ loop fails and the fault A light illuminates while the LEZ loop detects a fire warning is generated and displayed. In this situation, a fault A light remains illuminated along with the normal engine fire indicators. Click on the fault A light to see the next indication. In the fourth scenario, if the LEZ loop should fail, it illuminates the fault A light. Should a fire then be detected by the PEZ loop, no fire warning is generated. Only the fault A light is illuminated. For engine fire suppression, two spherical dual-port fire extinguishing bottles are located in the left wing root. The bottles are designated as forward and aft. The connection configuration of the fire bottles allows the forward bottle, aft bottle, or both bottles to be discharged into either engine nacelle. This provides a backup should one bottle fail or is not sufficient to extinguish the fire. A fire bottle that is depleted or has low pressure is indicated by the illumination of the amber bottle low light. The light is labeled bottle low on the overhead fire protection panel. The bottle low advisory light illumination triggers the illumination of the master warning and the check fire detection lights when a fire is detected. When an engine fire indication occurs, the affected engine must be secured in accordance with the required Quick Reference Handbook or Emergency Abnormal Procedures checklist for the operator. Pulling the illuminated T-handle closes the respective engine's fuel shutoff valve, the engine's hydraulic shutoff valve, and arms the forward and aft fire extinguishing bottles. Closing of the fuel shutoff valves is indicated by the green open valve lights going off and the white closed valve lights illuminating. The lights are just above the T-handle. Pulling the pull fuel hydraulic off handle illuminates the amber fire bottle arm lights on the engine fire protection panel. Once the fire bottle's arm lights illuminate, the fire bottle may be discharged by selecting the spring-loaded extinguisher switch to the forward or aft position. The recommended procedure is to discharge the forward bottle first, wait up to 30 seconds before discharging the aft bottle, and only if the forward bottle did not extinguish the fire. Once a bottle is discharged, its respective arm light extinguishes and the amber bottle low light illuminates. There is only one bottle low light and is shared by both fire bottles. Click on the T handle to show the next indication. Should a fire bottle armed light fail to illuminate once a T-handle is pulled, it is an indication that the bottle has either lost pressure or there is a malfunction with the squib. The squib is the electro-explosive device that is used to release the extinguishing agent. The engine fire detection and indication system is required to be tested as one of the 24-hour checks. The check is accomplished by selecting the test switch to engine 1 or engine 2 and verifying the illumination of 7 lights. To complete the test, you must see the red pull fuel hydraulic off T-handle light, the amber A fault advisory light, the amber fault B advisory lights, the red check fire detection light on the overhead annunciator panel, 2 engine fire press to reset lights, and the red master warning press to reset light. The T-handle and loop fault lights will be the only steady lights. The others will be flashing and you will hear the fire bell's audible warning. When activating the engine fire test switch, the audible engine fire warning tone sounds with the illumination of the lights. Pressing the engine fire press to reset light on either side, or the master warning light, silences the bell and stops the lights from flashing. This ensures that both lights will accomplish the task. Repeat the test selecting engine 2 and observe the same indications for the right engine. Baggage compartment fire extinguishing is provided by 3 fire bottles. Each baggage compartment, forward and aft, has its own high-rate discharge fire bottle located near the respective compartment. Additionally, there is a single low-rate discharge bottle stored in the aft equipment bay that is shared by the 2 baggage compartments. The forward baggage compartment receives smoke detection and fire protection by the use of 1 smoke detector and 2 fire bottles. 1 fire bottle is classified as a high-rate discharge and the other a low-rate discharge. The smoke detector is a photosensitive device that uses a light beam to detect smoke particles when the beam is interrupted. The forward baggage smoke detector is mounted near the front of the compartment above the external baggage compartment access door. Upon sensing smoke, the detector activates lights on the fire protection panel's baggage forward section. The master warning light on the glare shield illuminates, as well as a smoke warning light on the overhead annunciator panel. The baggage forward section is on the right forward corner of the overhead fire protection panel. The indications of baggage compartment smoke will be: the red master warning light illuminates and flashes. The red smoke light segment on the overhead annunciator panel illuminates and flashes. The red and white guarded light on the right side of the baggage forward fire protection panel illuminates, and the fire bottle forward arm segment on the left side of the square light panel illuminates amber. 3 chimes sound. Illumination of the fire bottle forward arm light is an indication that the high-rate fire extinguisher bottle for the forward baggage compartment is armed and ready for use. The fire bottle is mounted above the forward baggage compartment and is dedicated solely to it. Raising the guard and pressing the red and white switch light marked Smoke Extinguish discharges the high-rate fire bottle into the forward baggage compartment. If the airplane is airborne, a second low-rate bottle simultaneously begins discharging into the forward baggage compartment. The low-rate bottle provides additional suppressant at a slow, steady rate to the baggage compartment. The arm light on the left side of the fire bottle forward square light indicator immediately extinguishes with the activation of the high-rate bottle. When the high-rate bottle is fully depleted, the low amber light segment located on the right side of the fire bottle forward square light indicator illuminates. Illumination of the fire bottle aft amber low light segment located on the right side of the square light indicator occurs when the low-rate bottle is fully depleted. This takes approximately 45 minutes after completion of the high-rate bottle discharge. Another high-rate discharge bottle for the aft baggage compartment is located in the aft equipment bay. Smoke sensing in the aft baggage compartment is accomplished by 2 smoke detectors mounted in the overhead panel of the compartment. When either of the smoke detectors senses smoke, the master warning light and smoke segment on the overhead annunciator panel illuminates and flashes. Additionally, 3 aural chimes accompany the illumination of the master warning light. The other lights that illuminate when aft baggage smoke is detected are the baggage aft dual segment red and white guarded switch light labeled Smoke Extinguish, the amber aft fire bottle arm segment on the fire protection panel, 2 white lights on the baggage aft fire protection panel for the vent valve inlet and the vent valve outlet. Keep in mind the dedicated high-rate discharge bottle for the aft baggage compartment is located in the aft equipment bay. Raising the guard and pressing the red and white switch light labeled Smoke Extinguish, when illuminated, discharges the high-rate bottle into the compartment. Approximately 7 minutes later, the shared low-rate bottle begins releasing additional suppressant into the compartment at a slow, steady rate. The release of the low-rate bottle is automatic and requires no additional crew member action. Upon release of the high-rate bottle into the compartment, the amber arm light on the fire protection panel for the left aft segment goes out. The amber low segment on the upper right side for the aft fire bottle then illuminates, indicating the high-rate discharge bottle is depleted. Approximately 45 minutes later, the amber forward bottle low segment on the fire protection panel illuminates. The illumination of the low light indicates the low-rate bottle is depleted. Note that with a low-rate bottle discharge, the indicator for the bottle depletion is on the non-affected baggage compartment's high-rate bottle indicator. This indicates that there is insufficient extinguishing agent available for the non-affected compartment due to the depletion of the shared low-rate discharge bottle used for fire suppression, and not resulting from a system failure. The forward compartment has 1 smoke detector and the aft has 2. The forward compartment uses a single test push button and the aft uses a 2-position test switch. The forward baggage compartment fire test is accomplished by pressing the test button. 5 lights illuminate in a proper test: the red flashing master warning light, the red flashing smoke light, 2 segments in the red and white guarded switch light labeled Smoke Extinguish, and the amber arm segment of the forward high-rate bottle on the fire protection panel. Remember, you should hear 3 chimes when the master warning light illuminates. The test of the aft baggage compartment smoke detectors is accomplished via the spring-loaded test switch. Testing the first smoke detector is accomplished by holding the switch in the number 1 position. Check that the following lights are illuminated: the flashing red master warning light, the red smoke warning light, the guarded red and white dual segment smoke extinguish light, the white vent inlet and vent outlet lights, the amber arm segment for the aft bottle on the fire protection panel, and the white lights on the vent valve inlet and vent valve outlet closed position. Testing the second smoke detector is accomplished by holding the switch in the number 2 position. Listen for the 3 chimes with both tests. If the low rate bottle has lost pressure, indication of the loss is provided during the smoke detector test. The indication is shown by illumination of the low segment on the fire protection panel for the high rate bottle in the baggage compartment not being tested. The baggage compartment low rate discharge fire bottle will not release into either baggage compartment if the airplane is not airborne. The baggage compartment fire protection and detection system on the Dash 8 Q400 are certified to contain a fire for up to 1 hour in flight. Therefore, the aircraft is limited to operate at all times within 1 hour of a suitable airport for landing. In order to operate further than 1 hour from a suitable airport, the aircraft's baggage compartments must be verified to be emptied and thus provide no source of combustibles for a fire. The lavatory has a single ceiling-mounted smoke detector. The detector is in the area above the waste bin and just inside the entrance door. The detector is a different type than the ones used in the baggage compartments. Should smoke be detected in the lavatory, the detector activates an audible alarm. The detector signal also illuminates the smoke detector LED and the cabin repeater lights that come on red and steady. A high chime also sounds through the cabin speakers. There are no indications for lavatory smoke on the flight deck. Testing the lavatory smoke detector is normally done by the cabin crew members. The smoke detector has a self-test button that simulates a smoke condition. Click on the test button to see indications. Pressing the self-test button illuminates the lavatory smoke lights and a red LED on the detector. The smoke detector produces an audible warning tone and a high chime sounds through the public address system speakers. To stop the aural warning and extinguish the warning lights, the detector has an interrupt button which silences the warning tone and chimes and extinguishes the lights if pressed after the test. Failure of the smoke detector is confirmed by no response after pushing the self-test button. The waste bin in the lavatory is protected with a thermally activated fire bottle. The bottle has dual discharge nozzles and is mounted at the top of the waste bin. When a fire develops in the waste bin, the heat increases the temperature on the discharge nozzles, melting the fusible seals on the end caps, releasing the agent into the waste bin. The thermally activated discharge is the only method used for activation. This concludes the fire protection module.